Hey everyone, welcome to ALB programming lesson. Today I'm gonna give you a brief introduction to Java class. Class is the basic building block of any Java program. This lesson shows you one of the simplest usage of Java class. If you learn Java as your first programming language, this tutorial can be very helpful. Let's get started. Now you can see I'm using a Linux system, but it never replaced my Windows system. I've explained it in the first lesson of this series. As I promised in the second lesson, let's continue to build this little program, which is described here. In this lesson, we'll try to translate this part into Java language. We're gonna use Java class, but Java class is completely different from this class. In order to tell them apart, let's call it course, like subject, lecture, lesson, etc. So let's call this course info. This one would be course name, attendant or student. This one course schedule. This one still classroom location. There is no such a thing as course room. Now we're gonna create a Java class to implement this data model. This is a beginner-friendly lesson. We won't type too much at the beginning and get caught up and overwhelmed by tons of errors. So let's download a sample code instead. Open up your web browser. Go to this link. I'll also give it in the description. This is the one that we're gonna use in this lesson. Click this download icon. Download's finished. Go to the files. Downloads. This zip file contains a sample code. Right-click on it. Click Extract here. Then open up this folder. We'll be playing around with these two files. Let's compare what is written in human language with Java code. We have name, attendant or student, schedule, and classroom address written in Java code describing this data model. These are class methods. They're used for assigning values and reading values. For example, the value of this name is set by this method setName. We give a name to the course in this way. When we read the value of the name, we use getName. We can know the name of a certain course in this way. It is counterintuitive, but people write like this all the time. We need to be able to understand what other people are writing. The good thing about setter and getter is that we can let the program to implement the validation process or some business logic when users try to input a value. We'll discuss more in details later. This is basically how we use the Java class to implement the data model. Now why don't we run it in Eclipse? Click this icon to turn on Eclipse. If you don't have one, you can go check out the first lesson. I'll leave everything else default, then click Launch. It takes a while to load Eclipse, so I'll speed up the video. Alright, this is what we've done in the second and third lesson. I'll turn them off, cause we don't need it in this lesson. Now we're gonna try to use these source code files. There is no point just describing the data model in what is it, an alien term? So we will set up a Java project and run the program like what we did in the second lesson. So go to the menu bar and click File. Now you can see a Java project. You can see this option if you're using the Eclipse for the first time. What would you do in that case? You can check out the second lesson in this series. I'll click Java Project. Now I need to name my project. The name can be almost anything. You can try out what works and what not works if you're interested. The principle is that you will be able to recognize quickly what the project does by its name. If I give a random name to my project, after a month I won't know what it is about until I waste a big chunk of time delving into the code. So I'll name my project Course Demo, because I think I'll be able to recognize it in the future easily. I'll leave everything else default. Click Finish. We're gonna work on this Java project. In the second lesson, we'll just right-click on the source folder, go to New, and click Class. Fill in the class name. This way, you have to write the entire Java class from the scratch. But now, let's not do it. Cancel it. Instead, drag this course.java and drop it on the src folder. Select Copy Files. Don't mess with the link files if you're new to information technology. If you're curious, you can research File Link, shortcut to File. Select this one and click OK. This is the source code I gave you. Open it up. I want a bigger area to display those codes. So I will double click on this tab. Now we have a bigger editing area. Double click here again. You get a smaller editing area. Now you might want to run the program. You can right click on the source code file. Go to Run As. But where the Java application? There is supposed to be an option called Java application. Do you still remember? But Java program must have a main method. But here, you can't see a main method, believe it or not. Let's search it by going to menu bar, click Edit, click Find Next. It's deactivated somehow. We need to click the editing area first. Then go to Edit and click Find Next or Find/Replace. I'll click Find/Replace. Here you can type main, click Find, but you can see string not found. To be simple, string means text. We're looking for a text main, but it's not found. So there's no main method, which makes us unable to run the program. A Java class is like a template. We need some real content to fill in the template. This is just a template. We're gonna use this template and add more details to do a specific task. This is an example to use the template. Use a Java class. Let's see. Here is the main method. Let's put it into the Java project. Drag it and drop it on the src folder. Make sure to copy files. Then click OK. Open up test.java. Let's take a quick look at what is happening inside. At the first glance, I can see the program is assigning a name to a subject. As we've learned in the third lesson, Java program starts executing from the first line of code to the last line. The program first executes this line, then this line, then this one, then this, finally this line. Let's run the program and see what will happen. Look at the text in the console. Subject name, Java programming. Attendant or student is this one. Classroom is this one. This is a simple example to demonstrate how to use Java class as a template. All I did is create a course object, set name, set classroom to the course object, then display its name, attendant, and classroom. Now you can pause the video and try changing some stuff and run the program to see the result. This is actually how you learn things. Alright, now let's learn more about this Java class. Firstly, we need to define this class. How do we do? It starts with class, followed by the class name that is identical to the Java file name, as we've learned in the third lesson. Remember, there is a pair of curly brackets, a left bracket, and a right bracket. Also remember, brackets and parentheses always exist in pair. When there is left one, there must be a right counterpart. Between the curly bracket pair, there are class variables and class methods. These are class variables: name, attendant, schedule, and classroom. The name, course name, or subject name. Normally we use text or character string to represent the name. The attendant or student. We can assign a number to each student, like student ID. Schedule is the date time. Classroom can be represented by text or character string. Here, the string means text or character strings or string of characters. We'll learn more about it in the 7th lesson. Int means integers like 1, 2, 3, 4, but not those decimal numbers like 5.1 or 6.89 and etc. This date, we'll learn more about it in the 8th and 9th lesson. This is string. Alright, below the variable declaration are the class methods, the set name, set attendant, and etc. You might not like the idea of setter and getter, but you need to know what everyone else is writing. In addition, the good thing about getter and setter is that we can use it to implement some business logic or validation process. Let's say, when you set a course name, you may not just want any name. You might want to check whether the subject is available or not. Or, when you call this method to set student ID, maybe you have to check if the input is positive number or not. Then you might need to replace this line of code with your validation logic. Alright, technically, there's another way to assign a value to a class variable. In our example, we can replace this line of code. We can write like subject dot attendant equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This line and this line, they do exactly the same thing, no error. But don't write like this, because this allows any value, even if that value doesn't make sense. Let's say minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The computer program doesn't care whether or not student's ID should be negative number or positive number. You access this variable from outside and assign a value. Computer program doesn't see anything wrong with it, unless you add additional code. We need to kind of force other people to use the setAttendant method. You can let the method implement logic and do some checking. So let's not write such a code. Delete it. But for demonstration purpose, I will undo and keep this problematic code. Now we also need to prevent other people from writing such a code and directly accessing the class variable. It's simple. All we need to do is add a modifier private in front of this line. Like this. Save the file. Now you can see an error here and here. When I put the mouse cursor here, the error message, this thing is not visible because I've defined it as private just now. I'm gonna ignore this error and try running the program. Well, Eclipse gives me a pop-up. I can't do it. I need to go solve the problem. I'll delete this line. Save the file. The error is gone. This is private variable. You can't access it from the outside. Even if you try, you end up getting an error. Let's make all the class variable private. I've explained one of the reasons. You can study why make class variables private. Well, when there is private fields, intuitively, there must be public fields. That's right. There is a keyword called public, like this. This method is not private and not public. What is it? You can do your own research and find out the difference between public, private, protected, and neither of them. Alright, let me give you a brief summary. As I told you, everything in this Java file is the translation of this. Here, a data model. Java class can be used as template. It consists of class variables and methods. These 4 lines are the declarations of the class variables. We declare the variable name, variable type, and variable visibility. The order of these 3, blank space, uppercase, lowercase, and the semicolon at the end of the line, cannot be changed. These are the class methods. In our example, they read and write values to these class variables. This is Java class. We can use it as a template. Now let's see how to use it. Firstly, we need a main class, a Java class that contains a main method. Java program starts from main method, right? In our example, this is the main class. Here is the main method. To use the Java class, we need to declare an object, which is an instance of the class, similar to declaring a class variable. Next thing is to initialize the object, just like what is at line 7. These 3 lines, assigning value to the object, like classroom, subject name, and etc. Then the program displays the value of the subject name, students, and the classroom. When we initialize an object, we use this constructor. In front of the constructor, there is a new, colored in purple. Alright, new course is used for allocating memory to this object. This is declaring an object. This is initializing the object. Both declaring and initializing is important and necessary. If you comment out this line or delete this line, you get an error. The error message is subject cannot be resolved. If you add back the declaration, then the errors are gone. Initialization is also as necessary as declaration. If I comment out or delete this line, which does the initialization, then I get a whole lot of errors. The error message, the subject is not initialized. When I add back the initialization, errors are gone. After declaring and initializing an object, we can start using it. We can call the class methods like setName. In our example, we use setName to give name to a course. The course name is Java Programming. This is setName. We can also tell the program the course has a student and takes place at this classroom. If you don't understand, don't worry about it. In the next lesson, we will learn breakpoint debugging. Then you will have a better understanding about what is going on here. Now we are hard coding the values in the setters. These values are fixed and inflexible at this moment. In the future, we will replace them with program code and things will become more automatic. Next 3 lines are similar to Hello World, which we've learned in the second lesson, except that I changed the word and added subject name, attendance, and classroom. Now, let me give you a brief summary to this lesson. We're trying to develop a back-end program that sends reminders to students on a daily basis through email. But sending email is too complicated for this lesson. So we learned some programming basics. In this lesson, we'll learn the fundamentals of Java class, which is the building block of any Java program. This test.java is actually a Java class that has a main method from which Java program starts executing. We have another Java class, course.java, but it doesn't have a main method. It's more like a template. Others will import it, declare an object of it, initialize and use it. Java class consists of class variables and methods. When you declare a variable, you need variable name, data type, and visibility. Method definition is similar. We need method name and input, but sometimes there doesn't have to be an input like this one. Also needs an output data type and visibility. If you don't understand about this whole method thing, don't worry about it. We'll cover more in details in the future lessons. This is Java class as template. We can use the template in the main class or other template. In the main method, we declare an object of the Java class, then initialize the object so that memory will be allocated to the object. Then you're ready to call the method defined in the Java class. Currently, we're doing fairly simple stuff, but in the future, as we advance in programming and computer knowledge, we'll be able to do more and more cool stuff. So much for this lesson. Hope you've learned something. We will learn breakpoint debugging in the next lesson. Thanks for watching. I'll see you there. Peace.